UKIP
spokesperson David Rowlands.
Diolch, Llywydd, and can I take this, my first opportunity to wish you, the Cabinet Secretary and the rest of the members of this Assembly a Happy New Year, Blwyddyn Newydd Dda. Cabinet Secretary, local authorities, businesses and the charitable sector are making very real efforts to address the challenges facing Wales, but the progress that many would like to see is minimal, and in some cases, such as child poverty, we are going backwards. When are we likely to see our economic strategies provide results that will give hope to the poorest communities of Wales?
In many respects, as I outlined to Russell George, the approach that's been taken by this government and that was taken by the previous government has already led to record level of low unemployment, record levels of employment, record low levels of inactivity. But what we need to do is make sure that more people get into work so that they're not caught in the poverty trap, a poverty trap that's been made worse through, 8 years now of austerity measures. The path into work is the best pathway out of poverty, and our objective is to make sure that we don't just create more jobs for people who are out of work, we create more high-quality jobs. But of course, on top of that, in order for people to access those jobs, we need to tear down other barriers, barriers concerning childcare and a lack of appropriate transport to get people to and from work. But through one of the most ambitious childcare offers anywhere in Europe, and through reforms to local public bus services and the new rail franchise, I'm confident that we can address those two big barriers to getting people into work and staying in work.
Well, once again, I thank the Cabinet Secretary for his reply, but I have to say that I think the time has ended where we can keep on blaming austerity in Wales for our lack of progress. And once again, after 17 years, the people of Wales are facing another promise of jam tomorrow. The First Minister said prior to the 2016 Assembly elections that we started the job 5 years ago and I need another 5 years to finish it. At the next election in 2021, Labour will have been in power for 23 years. Will the First Minister's promises have been kept, or will we continue on the race to the bottom of all economic indicators?
Well, we should start talking up Wales and the Welsh economy, particularly in those areas where we're appreciating significant success. And the member who represents North Wales next to David Rowlands is laughing at this, but the member lives in a county where we have record levels of employment, where the GVA of the county is higher than virtually any other county in Wales, and is near the average for the north and rising, where we have invested in companies such as Hotpack, where we've worked with the likes of Tata Steel, where we work continually with Airbus and other major employers to maximise employment opportunities and to create new high-quality jobs. We will continue to do that in the coming years, and we will drive up opportunities for employment in higher value industries, in the industries of tomorrow, utilising the Economic Action Plan as the basis for creating a new economy based on new and emerging technologies and green growth.
Again, I thank the Cabinet Secretary, and I do share, to a certain extent, your belief that perhaps things may be changing. But things do not all go well, particularly for the poorest in our society. The burden on the taxpayer in 2018 is likely to increase. The Welsh Government's rents policy will increase social housing itself by £200 per two-bedroom home. And likewise, the modest increase predicted in UK unemployment is unlikely to boost those parts of Wales where unemployment stands well above the UK average. Nor is it likely to help the 13.1% of young adults out of work. It's predicted that inflation will wipe out any real-term earnings growth, and that relative poverty could well rise to 27% for people of all ages and to around 40% for children as people's standard of living is squeezed further. I ask the Cabinet Secretary, is this the Wales we want? And are you confident your economic policies are going to alleviate these hardships in both the short and the long term?
I can tell you, the member, that the Wales that we want, I think, is a Wales where nobody is left behind. And the member highlighted the challenge that many younger people have faced in recent years in accessing jobs. Now, the member wasn't a member of the previous Assembly where we took forward Jobs Growth Wales, but that is a particular programme that has led to 17,000 young people in Wales having an opportunity to work, to gain the skills and the experience to stay in work. And as a consequence, I believe it's more than 70% who have gone on to secure full-time employment or further training that subsequently has led them into full-time secure work. It's absolutely imperative that we go on supporting projects such as Jobs Growth Wales and the Emerging Employability Plan to ensure that young people, and indeed people who are currently in work, can access higher quality jobs. But it's also worth pointing out that Wales is amongst very few nations that has a strong vision for fair work, for a country where the proper, decent living wage is adopted by employers, where trades unions are recognised, where people can expect a fair day's pay for a fair day's work, and where people can expect dignity and respect in the workplace.